Do you think, because you're a smart guy, do you think it is, which is okay?
Maybe.
Some people are smart, and that's okay. I'm not saying you're good at volleyball. You know, you might not be. You might be bad at volleyball. I don't know, but some things are, certain people are certain things. You appear smart, right?
Okay.
To a pretty regular person like myself. Is it harder to be in love when you're smart? Like, because smart makes it so you kind of look at things a lot, you know?
So intelligent people generally have a harder time. And the problem, and this is the work of Stanovich and others, the problem we've also gotten into is we've confused being intelligent with being rational. And we've confused being rational with being logical. And so we get all messed up about this. Intelligence is your capacity to solve problems. Rationality is ultimately, I would argue, and this is the ancient notion, this is Plato's notion, it's not about being logical. Rationality is about using your intelligence to become aware of the self-deception and the bias so that you can overcome it. So mindfulness is a way of being rational, even though you're not running any arguments in your head.
Okay.
So if you, and Plato was deep about reason in that sense. Reason, we still carry it around when we talk about somebody being reasonable, right? Reason in that sense and love, they're interwoven, because reason in that sense is the profound love and faithfulness to what is true, what is good and beautiful. And I think if you're intelligent and you're not, and you haven't cultivated rationality and its accompanying virtues, then you are more and more tempted to problematize your relationship just because you have the intelligence machinery to use. But if you could, you
start making hurdles because your brain, that's what it likes to solve problems, so it'll just make problems.
Right, and what your brain will also do, right, is your brain is a powerful prediction machine. It's a relevance real. Remember we talked about anticipating the future?
Mm-hmm.
So your brain is constantly also trying to solve problems you didn't solve in the past. And so in a bit of a slogan, your brain actually prefers familiar unhappiness to unexpected happiness.
Because it likes organization, right?
It likes familiarity, because familiarity at least initially seems that you're predicting things. Now the problem with familiarity is, and you know this, you see this in your friends, and they see it in you. And the great gift is if you could come to see it in yourself. You're doing that thing, Bill. You're doing that thing you always do in your relationships. You're doing it again, right? And you seem so wise from the outside, except 2 years later, Bill comes to you and says, Theo,
you're doing that thing.
You're doing that thing again, right?
Yeah. Now you're doing that thing,
right? Yeah.
I know, it's so interesting.
So you have to. Your intelligence not only is problematizing things by looking for problems, it's also trying to solve previous relationships, but often in a maladaptive way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can bring rationality in the Platonic sense, rationality, love, virtue, into faithfulness. And they're all interdependent. If you can bring that in, then I think then it shifts, and that actually gives you a greater capacity to enter deeply into a loving relationship. I want everybody to understand. I'm like 61, almost 62, and I've screwed up.
You look young, man.
Well, thank you. I've screwed up a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I continue to make sense. I want to give credit to a lot of the people that helped me along the way, and I want to give credit to my friends and also to my beloved partner for anything I'm saying here. I owe it profoundly to them.